and welcome back to my channel. Hi guys. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you exactly how to do this super easy smoky eye that I have right here. I actually did this smoky eye on camera for Instagram and for TikTok, and I was like, I tried this like 15 minutes before I left the house for a wedding, and I think it has over 1 million views on both platforms. I'll flash it right here. But so many of you wanted a tutorial on this look, and I knew that I had to do a tutorial on this look because it looks so beautiful. I got so many compliments on this look the day of the wedding. It was like a safari themed wedding party, and I wore like a leopard outfit with it, so it really kind of tied together nicely. But I got so many compliments and it was just so ridiculously easy. I was like, oh my god, anyone could do this. It actually like wasn't even that many products either. I think this type of makeup would look good on anyone depending on the occasion, right? Like I don't think you should do this for school pickup, but I think for a wedding or a night out with your girlfriends, 100%. But anyway, let's get into it. So my favorite thing about this look and doing a makeup look like this is because it's so easy, but also it does not need to be perfect. I feel like that's a mistake that I've made in the past, and also just generally people make. Like they're like, oh my god, this like needs to look perfect. But for a smoky eye, like smudgy lived in is like sexier and even better. But I think that's why when I decided to do this smoky eye like 15 minutes before I decided to leave the event, that's why it worked, right? Because I was like in a rush. I'm just trying to go. I just like need this to look good and work. And then it did, because I was literally in a rush. Anyway, let's move on and let's do the tutorial. So we're gonna start with the eye because there is sometimes like some smudging that happens. Like you need to go in maybe with a little bit of micellar water and like clean it up a little bit. For the eyeliner, I used this Victoria Beckham pencil in the shade Cocoa. So I'm going inside of my waterline. It's okay if it like comes outside as well, but I went inside. And then we're also gonna do, what do they call this? Tight lining. Super weird, feels weird. Inside the eye, like just kind of lifting up your eye like this, making sure you get in there. I mean, this actually looks good even without doing a smoky eye. It just gives your eye a little bit of definition. And again, like see, I'm getting a little bit already like smudging, but it's okay. We're gonna smudge this and smoke it out. First, I'm going inside here. And then I'm gonna try to do just a line on top as well. Making sure I really get into my lash line so that there aren't any like weird little gaps or anything like that. I'm gonna leave that like that, and then I'm gonna move on to the other eye. So again, I'm going inside of the eye, and then going again. I really like this pencil because it goes on really nicely and it smudges out really nicely, but I will say it definitely like moves, if that makes sense. I'm adding like almost like a little bit extra to the corners here because we're gonna go in with a brush and create the shape. So honestly, in the video, I just use my fingers. You totally can use a brush, and I kind of went in eventually with a brush, but I really like to go in with my fingers and just kind of start to smudge it out. But if you want to use like a fluffy brush, I have this one here from Victoria Beckham, you can totally do that too, and smudging underneath the eyes like so. Oh my gosh, like it already looks so pretty. And then doing the same thing on the other eye. One thing I also really like to do is tighten your eyes as much as you can, just so like that transfer kind of happens. Just smudge this out with your finger. Maybe I'll use a brush a little bit. So that's like the base of the eye right there. And I probably look a little crazy and raccoony, but we need to do the rest of the eye and the face, and then it will all come together. So for the wing, what I used was this Jones Road little brush right here. I've used this in other videos. I love it. It's so tiny, it's so precise, and it makes doing a wing so freaking easy. So I actually went like this onto the pencil, but you can also just use the XX product that you have on your eye. But I went into the corner like this, and you guys know you're gonna get major lazy eye activity here because this is like not my good angle. And I just started pulling the product out like the tiniest bit. And I kind of go from the top of my eyelid, the waterline, and I just continue to pull it out the tiniest bit. Maybe use a little bit more liner, but honestly, just that shape alone for me is good enough. And that's kind of like all I did for this wedding makeup. I'm actually just going to, I'm covering my crazy eye, leave it like that. Like I think that looks good and is enough to give you like a really nice shape, but like, isn't it so easy? Like this is so easy. Doing the same thing on the other side, going into this sort of corner of my eye, pulling from the top of my lid a little bit, just so it all connects, pulling the product out and making that wing. Okay, let's stop right there. For me, that is totally enough wing. gives it a really nice shape to the eye. I love the smokiness and the smudginess of it. For mascara, I've been loving this Maybelline Sky High. I have no lashes, so when I find a mascara that I really like, get pretty excited about it. On set as a model, I used to find it so confusing when makeup artists would do the eye first and the rest of the makeup after, because I'd be like, I don't know, like sequence-wise, I feel that it makes no sense, but now I understand it because you just get smudginess and transfer. So I suggest doing the eye first, and then you can clean up anything that, like any flaking or smudging that you need to afterwards, and then you can perfect your skin. I'm being generous with this mascara. Okay, if it's a little bit clumpy, looks like a lot, that is the point of a smoky eye. I'm gonna go in with a tiny bit of micellar water on a Q-tip. I'm using the Garnier micellar water. I'm just gonna clean up any of this above my eyelid. Obviously we want this to be smudgy, but we don't wanna look like totally cray. It's just up here for me, this area that I took some out. And if you want, you can use like these little Q-tips that have a nice pointed end if you want to be like really precise about it. But honestly, if you use that brush that I was using earlier, like it'll be pretty perfect as is. Okay, now I'm moving on and going into skin. So I'm gonna use this Say gel. It's in Star Glow. And this wedding was in South Africa. The light and scene was just absolutely incredible, but I wanted kind of like a nice glowy look to my skin. So I'm using a little bit of this. This is after I used my vitamin C serum and my moisturizer. I used Covey's Next Up Vitamin C Serum and Covey's Last But Not Least Moisturizer. I also really like to use this like on the body and on like your chest area. It like has a really beautiful effect, but I won't lie, like even on the face, it makes you a little bit shiny, but we're gonna go in with some powder, so fear not. Next up, I used a little bit of this Jones Road Tinted Moisturizer. I'm using the shade Fair/Ivory. I am going to just go in with my hands here as per usual and blend this into the skin. If you follow me for a while, you know that I typically use like a powder foundation, which I absolutely love, but sometimes when I have like a decent amount of makeup on the eye area, I feel like it looks imbalanced if I don't do like a real beat everywhere else, if that makes sense. So I just kind of use my hands, and this is so natural. So I just kind of use this and blend it into my skin as much as possible. So lightweight, you can barely feel it. Okay, I'm taking just a rag and taking any excess off my lips because I just hate the way that looks. Putting more lip balm on. All right, next up I'm going in with a little bit of concealer. This is the Tower 28 concealer, and I use the shade IE, just doing this underneath my eyes a little bit here. Okay, so I used a little bit of concealer underneath my eyes, forehead area. Really, this is just like to brighten the center of my face. One trick that I learned from Erin Parsons to really perfect a wing like this isn't supposed to be like a perfect wing, so I will not do it in this case. You can put some concealer on this and go in just underneath your cat eye here to make it even more perfect. Okay, next I'm going in with this Laura Mercier translucent powder. I actually just started using this recently and it really is amazing. It kind of like blurs out your skin a little bit and obviously gets rid of that shine that you don't want. So for the shine areas, obviously I want that glowy look, but it's always like a fine line, a delicate dance that we are dancing to get like glowy, but not look totally greasy. You know what I mean? So I'm using this in the center of my face, underneath my eyes, and I also use it like a little bit here and here because I get so sweaty there, I don't know why. So yeah, I'm patting that in. But yeah, this has like a really nice like blurring effect to it. It just like makes your skin look like perfect. I don't know, I really love it. Can you see the difference? Like I can, it's crazy. So for blush, I used this House Labs blush that I absolutely love. I did a whole video using this blush on my Instagram and TikTok, I believe. We can flash that over here, and it's so beautiful. But I really wanted to lean into like brown shades for this look. So going in with this really big fluffy brush, which is from Dibs, and just putting this on my cheeks. I love this brush. It's so fluffy and it's so soft, and you can use it for literally everything. Isn't this such a pretty shade? Oh, let me tell you what it is. Fire Moon. It's so nice. I love it. It's really, really pretty. This is the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Bronzing Powder. I just started using this. It's really, really nice though. I mean, Giorgio Armani makes incredible makeup, so I like to put that on my forehead area, a little bit on the outside of my face, and bring it down my neck a little bit just so I look nice and bronzy and glowy. I already did a little bit of blush, and then on top of that, I'm going to use this Miracle Balm in the shade Magic Hour. This is nice because it's like sparkly. As you can see, it has like a nice shimmer to it. I again, you could use this like here as well. I like to put this on my cheeks and cheekbone area. Like some people focus highlight here and here, but I also really think on the apples of the cheek is super cute. So I do it on the apples of my cheeks and kind of pull it up, but I'm gonna go in and do a tiny bit more blush because obviously. But I like the mixture, and for my everyday makeup, I do the same thing. I do more of like a berry color, but I mix it with the Miracle Balm, and I just think it gives like a nice shimmery highlighted blush. Okay, I'm doing a little bit more. And this blush is nice because it's like a bronzy, pinky, so natural. It's so nice. Okay, the next thing I did is I went in with this Merit lip gloss. This is the shade Taupe, but I can't decide because I actually found this Pillow Talk in a really nice kind of taupey shade too. Let's put it on really quick, see how it looks. I kind of want to mix them. This isn't what I did in the video, but this is what I'm going to do today. So this is Pillow Talk in medium. I like this color. It's like a nice pinky brown. Then I'm gonna go in with a little bit of this gloss on top. Okay, next let's just quickly get into eyebrows. I almost forgot. I actually think for a smoky eye like this, I'm not mad at a very fair and light brow. Just kind of leaves the face as a blank canvas and let the eyes pop. But I'm also a sucker for a good brow at the same time. I'm gonna go in with this Benefit Precisely My Brow, only brow pencil honestly that I ever use. And I'm just gonna fill in my brows a little bit. I start with the outside of my brows and just lightly fill in as much as I can because that's kind of where my eyebrows drop off the most. And I sometimes will even use a blonder pencil than this. Don't like a super dark, heavy brow, especially my brows are on the lighter side, which they are right now. See, that's it. I feel like brows can be intimidating, but like you don't have to do a lot. And then doing the same thing on the other side. I just ordered a new one of these Anastasia brow gels. This is my favorite brow gel. I think it's incredible. I ran out. I'm just gonna use hairspray. I'm just going to use a little bit of some old school Tresemme hairspray so that I can get my brows up and in place. Spraying the spoolie, going in and brushing them up. That is something that makeup artists do all the time on set. Like you can use brow gels, whatever you wanna do, but you can also just use hairspray. Same idea. All right, everyone, and this is the final look. It's cool, it's lived in, it's undone, and dare I say it's almost like a little rock and roll. Have I ever been rock and roll in my life? Absolutely not. But this makeup is giving that. I absolutely love it, and I don't know if this light or this camera and my posing is giving it justice. I'm not going to lie, but I definitely wanted to share this tutorial with you guys because I got so many compliments about this makeup the day of this wedding. Like so many people, men and women, were like, you look amazing, like what did you do differently? And I was like, I did this smoky eye. And I wanted to share it with you guys because it was so easy. Like it's seriously so easy because it does not have to be perfect. You can do it. And the fact that I did it in like 15 minutes, it's like my everyday makeup basically, just with like a little bit of eyeliner that I smudged out with my fingers. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed this makeup look. Please let me know if you tried it at home, if you enjoy it, if you found this helpful. I haven't done a makeup tutorial in a while, so it was fun to be in front of the camera like this again and kind of show you some of my favorite ways to do my makeup and techniques that I picked up along the way as a model over the years. But anyway, thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Let me know what else you would like to see next from me, and I will see you guys next time.